Hello and welcome to this episode of Nick of Time. We will be talking about Rockets versus Knicks and Knicks versus Hawks and Bucks versus Knicks. Yep, the first two games I was talking about weren't really that good for the New York Knicks, and they were on the road. Um, but the Knicks are having trouble with switching defense, but they did better um, uh, last night with switching defense, but they just weren't able to score. Whenever a team bring out their big. They just don't really have the chemistry yet to take it to take advantage of a switch and know where Cat wants to go on a smaller defender. Does he want to post up now? Does he want to go and spread out? Like it's really weird right now with this team and the switching defense trying to score. They're just really helter skelter right now in their switching defense. They need to get better at that. That's number one thing. Um, Rockets are a really tough defense. They're tough. They're tough. They contested everything at the rim. They're a really tough team to deal with. Um, yeah, they started Dylan Brooks on CAD, which I think we'll see of a smaller not a small defender, but a wing defender on Karl Anthony Towns. Dylan Brooks, I think he's a very good defender. All defensive second team. I think a few years ago, great defender. Um, the Rockets got away with a lot of the pain. I think that goes with the saying of the NBA has let people get away with more um in the paint. It's a lot of times where they were doing like a whole compilation of just the Knicks driving in the paint. They were just getting killed. Like they absolutely demolished in the paint. They weren't calling anything. The refs weren't calling anything. Which you know what I respect. I mean, the Rockets want to be this tough team, so they're gonna get calls like they're this tough team. That's fine. 100% fine with me. They just gotta be able to finish. You gotta be able to finish. If you're the Knicks, you can't really just flop and try to get the foul. You gotta be able to finish. Um, Rockets earned it down the stretch. Rockets and Hawks both earned it down the stretch. They definitely earned it. The Rockets' young players showed up. Jalen Green hit a tough shot. I'm like, if this goes in, take the L. Good night. I'll go to bed. I'll go to bed. Fine. You know what? It's whatever. Jalen Green hit that shot. It was a crazy shot. He hit it. Um, so yeah, they earned it down the stretch. They hit some tough shots. They played great defense on Jalen Brunson. Um, but yeah, they earned it down the stretch. They definitely did. Both teams earned it down the stretch. Is Cat defense worrisome? Yes, definitely is. A cone. You could say he's a cone defensively. I'm sorry, Carthy Downs. We're gonna talk about you amazingly about your offensive game in the game against the Bucks, but he's a freaking cone defensively. It is not good to put him at the center position. This isn't good. I would try to do a Precious Cat front court with OG and with Mikal and with Brunson. I would try that because of just being unable to defend anything in the paint. The pick and roll is just it can't defend a pick and roll. Can't defend somebody going downhill at you. Can't switch. Doesn't want to switch. Like, what do you want to do? That's my thing. Like, what do you want to do, Cat? Like, what do you want to do about it? It's really worrisome right now because his Knicks team wants to be all about this defense, but he's screwing it up real bad. Um, but yeah, is the I'm gonna have a question. I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna say it out loud. Is this Knicks lack of finishing in the late games because of fatigue? I think definitely. If Thibodeau wants to make this thing an 8-man rotation or 7-man rotation, he can. But that's for the end of the season. That's for the playoffs. You cannot do that right now because you know what that does when it's a close game. It's gonna be a close game either way. Even if you made it 8 or 10 or whatever, it's gonna be a close game. And those players are gonna be fatigued. Those Brunsons, those McKells, those Cats are gonna be fatigued. They're gonna be very fatigued. They're gonna have a lot of fatigue going in that, and you're gonna get crushed by a team like the Hawks and Rockets who are fully rested and younger and just want it more than you do. Um, but yeah, that's all the Knicks notes I have. Not a lot of Knicks notes, but that's it. They had a tough road trip. Cats defense got exposed, and he get into the shout out Zachary we should say on the screen. He had an amazing game, 33 points against the New York Knicks. Probably his best game of his NBA career so far. But also in the Bucks game, the Knicks really were hitting all cylinders. I feel like there was like a 4 possession strand where this Knicks team was just on it defensively. Everybody was moving. Everybody was just in a stance. There was nothing the Bucks could do. And yeah, the Bucks had 94 points. So look, when we say this Bucks team wants to be good offensively to make up for the defense they lost, well, the offense is not there. So what the hell are we doing? What is the Milwaukee Bucks doing? If the offense ain't there, what are you doing? You're only getting 94 points, and your defense is absolutely trash. We talked about Karl Towns being one defender, bad defender. They have 5 bad defenders out there. They have 5 cones out there. Okay, 4 cones because Giannis is just him defensively, but they have 4 cones out there. So what do you have here? You have a bad offense that is only going to score 94 points, and you have a defense that's absolutely awful. The Knicks are just only getting in the paint. The Knicks only want to get in that paint. So, yeah, I mean, what do you have? Like, that's my biggest thing with this with this with this with this Bucks team. What do you have? And yeah, I'm actually have more notes here. Knicks get in the paint at will. They got to paint at will. That's the biggest thing about the Bucks. They're gonna let you get in the paint. They're gonna be like, yeah, here's a red carpet to get in the paint. Here it is. Let's get in the paint. Doc Rivers, man, it's really bad. It's really bad. I mean, he's just bending down on his sideline, just like hoping, praying for something. It's not gonna come. You're gonna have to do something. And this Bucks team cannot make a trade either. They cannot. There's a lot of illegal trades that a lot of stuff that are illegal that they can make. They cannot make a lot of trades because most of them will be illegal because of you cannot give the Bucks cannot gain or the Bucks cannot gain money back from a trade. They're gonna have to you're gonna have to match the trade up perfectly with the money. Not a lot of teams do that. Not a lot of teams do that. But so it's gonna be really hard for them to make a trade. And also, you don't have any picks either. So it's like damn, you don't really have anything to make a trade. I know you want a defensive wing. I know you want another bench player, another depth piece. Where are you gonna get that from? Where are you gonna get that from? With what picks? And you also most of the trades you could do are illegal because you can't make those trades because you gotta have it perfect. Like the money has to be perfect. They both got to make the same amount of money to T. You cannot be gaining money back because your team that is in hell money wise, where you just have a bunch of money, where you just don't even have a lot of money. So you're just giving that money back, or you'd have a bunch of money tied to the team, where you just cannot take any money back. So, yeah. This Bucks team is really in a hole with their team. Thank God I'm not them. But yeah, let's get into the NBA notes. Warriors are a really good basketball team. I know they lost yesterday. They got killed yesterday, but they're really good. Their defense or offensively, it's a different Warriors team. Buddy Hield's contributing at a high level. He does this, man. He's a very great 3-point shooter. He came in game 6 and gave the 76ers some life. So he's just that guy when it comes to just hitting threes at a high level. And now he feels comfortable in this Warriors system. He knows what they want to do. They want to compete for a championship. He knows what he has to do. So that's just a big thing there. Has RJ Barrett fulfilled his potential? Now, my biggest thing about RJ Barrett is they are literally giving him the ball every single time. So I don't understand. This does not work. That doesn't work. RJ Barrett's not going to be the best player on the championship team. That's not going to happen. So where are we going to get it from when he's a third best player on the championship team? Fourth, is he going to be effective off ball? I've never seen that. That is where you fulfill your potential. Yes, I get it. He's great on ball. He's great when he gets the ball 50,000% of the time. But what is he going to do off ball? When you bring back Scotty, when you bring back Emmanuel quickly, when you bring back the guys from the Raptors, what was he going to do off ball? Nothing. He cannot move off ball. People help off of him. That's just RJ Barrett for you. It's great to have him the ball 1,000% of the time, but what happens when when the ball doesn't get to him? What is he going to do off ball? What is he going to do to affect the game when he doesn't have the ball in his hands? That's exactly my point. Sabonis, man, I love Sabonis. Big fan, big fan. The way he just grits games out as a superstar player or an all-star player is different, man. He got that rebound for a game winner against the Heat. He got that ball. I mean, he's just very selfish all-star. One of the most selfish all-stars in the league. He'll fit he'll game will fit in anywhere because of the way he can set screens, he can roll, he can really pass. He's a hub offensively. He's not the best defender in the league, but he's not a cone. So he just fits anywhere. He's that player that you could plug and play in anywhere that needs a center, and he'll be just perfect for them. Um, yeah, the Suns are gonna have a very great regular season, but it's just about the playoffs for me. I mean, this team doesn't match well against a lot of teams like the Thunder. Like the Thunder are just gonna shoot them out of the game because they don't have enough defense. And then you get the Wolves who are just bigger than them, just more physical. So they're not the perfect team. They are definitely not the perfect team, but they're gonna get wins in the regular season because Mike Budenholzer gets your floor higher, as we talked about in the in the preseason. We talked about that. But Mike Budenholzer is definitely gonna get this floor raised. So this floor is being raised, and the Suns are definitely getting these wins together, these impressive wins against the Mavs, where it's just last minute, and the clutch has been way better, which I think has been a staple in this team. Is our clutch has been way better, respected. I mean, this team's clutch should be better. They have like two of the best clutch scorers in the league, like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and now they get a point guard who can settle down Tyus Jones. They're fine. They're completely fine in the clutch. I don't know why they weren't last year. I mean, I guess they don't have the point guard, but they still have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, so it was really an anomaly last season for them. The Pistons are better in the fourth because of their new spacing. Obviously, it's their new spacing right now. It is their new spacing that is showing who the Pistons are. Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr. They bring back somebody Von Tecchio. Like they have that spacing. Um, they had impressive win against the Lakers, fighting off runs. Impressive because the Pistons are not a team that could usually fight off runs, or not a team that folds in the fourth quarter. But nah, they just decided I'm the Pistons, I'm better than you, and I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna win this game. That was a very impressive win against the Lakers, by the way. Um, why wasn't Monty starting Caden, Jaden Ivey? I can't tell you why. He was trying to start Killian Hayes. I don't know why, but whatever. It's whatever. Monty Williams is not a good head coach. That's just what it is. Why are the Suns so much better than the Clutch? Should we say? As I said earlier, because they just have that point guard. Tyus Jones is that guy. You need those guys, those Tyus Jones, those Mike Conleys, who will settle you down. As good of a scorer Kevin Durant and Devin Booker is, you need a guy to settle them down, get them in their sets, and the Suns have been crisper running their plays, and they've just been better in the clutch because of that. Franz gonna have to step up with Paolo out. That's the biggest thing here. Franz Wagner is gonna this could be a blessing in disguise for him as well. As I said, Jalen Suggs could be a blessing in disguise for. But Franz Wagner, man, that guy is great. He just doesn't get to show himself because he's a second option next to Paolo. But he's that guy with the ball in his hands. He could definitely be a very effective player. Definitely be effective one option against teams like the Pelicans who are injury riddled. So, they could win those games as they won last night by about 20 points. They beat the injury riddled Pelicans. So they're gonna win those games just because of their defense and Franz Wagner. So yeah, the 76ers cannot catch a break. I mean, you see Tyrese Maxey out for like a few weeks, and you have Joel Embiid punching a reporter. Which, you know what? Me personally, you do that. You go do that, man. You gotta. There's some things that the reporters say that just it wouldn't say, and they wouldn't say to Joel Embiid's face. People are just way too comfortable online. That's not what I'm supposed to talk about. These reporters are way too comfortable online. Just you gotta show them something. And now Marcus Hayes will not be as comfortable online because he knows there's repercussions. He didn't know that before. He thought he could just be on his merry way, talk about Joel Embiid's dead son, and he could just be on his merry way. No, that's not gonna happen. That doesn't happen. Joel Embiid, you deserve you definitely can punch that guy because that guy needs to be needs to get some repercussions and consequences for his 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 choice of words. And also, yeah, they weren't even gonna punish him, Marcus Hayes. So I don't understand. He needs to get punished, and he got punished. He definitely got punished. All right. Um, yeah. Why is Anthony Edwards taking more threes? It's because he's just making them. It's a new league now. I understand it. He's more of a let me get to the paint, let me dunk on you type player. Nah, it's different now. He's took it out his mid range out of his diet. He's more of a 3-point shooter, and if it's going in, he's gonna take 11 threes. I mean, let's look at last game. I'm gonna go look at last game about the Minnesota Timberwolves and what they did last game. I mean, you look at it: 37 points for Anthony Edwards, 9 for 15 from three, took 15 threes, made a 9 of them. So if that's gonna happen, you're gonna take threes. You're just gonna take them. Anthony Edwards is like a very good 3-point shooter, and people need to get that in their heads because they think of him as this mid-range sniper. Just let me get to the paint, but no, he's transferring his game, and he's definitely has that 3-point shot in his arsenal. Um, Wemmy's gonna have to find his way offensively. He's definitely have to find his way offensively. Defensively, he's awesome. But offensively, 7 threes per game is not the way to go. In my opinion, I guess he's trying to progress in a way, but man, teams are just gonna adjust to that. Teams are just adjusting to him, and he needs to learn. He needs to definitely. This needs to be a year of learning what your offense is. What's going to be your calling card offensively? Because right now he's good at a lot of stuff, but what's going to be his calling card? I think that's the biggest thing. Um, Bulls are going to try to get some. Bulls are going to get some good assets for Vooch and Zach LaVine if they want to ship them, which they probably will. They're going to get some good assets because Vucevic has been great this season. Zach LaVine has been great this season. So you're going to get a lot of good assets for them. Doc Rivers, man. Doc freaking Rivers. Let's talk about him. He's trying to put more defense on the floor by starting Andre Jackson for Gary Trent Jr., who's been playing awful offense. Gary Trent Jr. playing awful offensively. Kind of an under the radar signing for the Bucks. A good signing as it is on face value. Gary Trent Jr. good vet. I mean, good vet, but if he's playing awful offense, his defense is Gary Trent Jr. His defense, what Gary Trent Jr. is going to bring to you, you kind of need some help. And they need help. They bring in Andre Jackson. The first game against the Jazz with the Jazz, he put up 19. Andre Jackson Jr. did. He was great. He was great in the starting lineup. He brings that defense, brings that effort, which the Bucks definitely need right now because their effort is not good at all. But yeah, they still need help. So let me stop at that. They still need help. The Nets are very competitive, and I love it. I love the Nets being competitive, man. They have these players, and I feel like it was a lot of just like thinking that Cam Thomas is going to chuck up like 15,000 threes a game, and that's going to be it. But they have actually ran a very, very good system with Jordy Fernandez. He's one of the great coaches in the league. He's learned a lot from his assistant coaching days under I think Mike Brown. He's learned a lot, so he's implemented his playbook that has helped the Nets and help different players fulfill their potential. I mean, you saw Cam Johnson last night. Dennis Schroeder is at a high all-time level right now in his play. It's not just Cam Thomas chucking 15,000 threes a game. It's how can we fulfill everybody's potential? How can we get the most out of our talent? And the Nets have done a great job maximizing their talent. The Cavs are so good. And you know why they're so good? Is because Kenny Atkinson is great at managing the rotation and not playing all the stars together. It's cool to play all your stars together. But if you can play one big on the floor and one guard on the floor and just win those minutes, they'll be 100% fine. And the way their bench is shooting right now, and the way their other players are shooting right now, Sam Morrell, Max Strus is shooting well. I mean, the way they're Sam Merrill. Okay, Sam Merrill's on this. Okay. The way they're shooting right now has been amazing. So if they can just have one big, one guard, it could be Darius Garland and Mobley or Mitch and D Mitch and Mobley or D Mitch and Allen. It could just be one of those guards and one of those bigs. and you'll be fine if you win those minutes, they can all come together maybe in the fourth. But you know, the Cavs have a very good system rolling, and that's just why they're the best team, because they have a very good system rolling. And the JB Baker staff didn't know what to do with the rotation, and sometimes it just wasn't really the best thing. Shout out to JB Baker staff, what he's doing with the Pistons, but with this, I think Kenny Atkinson is better for the Cavs and the way he's managing his rotation around, way better for them. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode of Nick of Time. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video. If you're like, make sure to like and subscribe to this account, this YouTube channel if you're as big of a Knicks/NBA fan as me. Because I'll be trying to pumping out this content every week, this whole NBA season long, this whole season long. So peace out, have a nice day, and let's go Knicks.